Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog-a-day, and today is Thursday the 29th, and today was a beautiful day to be alive, and outside was sunny, wasn't real cold, I think it was in the 30s and stuff, started off in the 20s, got up to the 30s I think, but the wind was insane. At times we had 40 mile an hour gust. It was just a crazy windy day, made for a lot of like drafty. I got a crawl space in my house, so I got a little weird draft, so the floor is kind of a little chillier today than normal. And then I had to go out for my run, which just absolutely sucked with that crazy wind. I ran around the reservoir, and when I was out in the kind of open areas away from the timber, it was just bitter ass cold. It was just like cutting right through you. So it was really kind of an interesting time on the run. I did end up running like basically a little about a 10K. Went out and ran, warm up, did fine there. Then I had 4 miles of tempo work. The first 2 miles I was literally struggling to stay on pace, trying to keep the running at the speed I need, which part of that's my ankle still jacked up. Because I'm overcompensating from that, I'm throwing my knee off, so my knee was hurting. Ironically, the knee hurt more than the ankle did, but it happens. I've just not been running that much and that far lately, so I was trying to make my runs count more, so I wanted to make my run today be a tempo run, so I kind of changed up my deal. And the second 2 miles of my tempo work, I was able to actually run at pace and a little bit below it, which was nice because my watch was beeping at me, telling me I was running too fast, which was great to hear after I'd just been running for 16 minutes, have my watch beeping at me, telling me I was running too slow. So definitely it felt good to be able to actually, be able to run that pace I need to be running. As my body got stretched out and got warmed up, and I was sweating pretty good, although I get back out in the wind, out by the water, and just that wind would cut right through me and froze my butt off. So I did end up having a really interesting thing also happen on the run. About 15 minutes into my run, my headphones went dead. I had my Bluetooth headphones with me, and normally I would have a spare set. I had them in the car, wasn't that big a deal. And my plan was actually run from the car. It's about a mile to there's like a loop, run a few loops around the thing, and then run back the mile to the car. And ended up deciding instead to make more of an out and back. So made a loop, ran back to the car kind of stuff, the way I kind of did it back and forth to make my distance. Got back to the car about halfway through. That I had to go out. So it was an out and back again. So I ended up out and back and double, which I ended up taking a little bit different route, but not a big deal. Totally off subject here. But I went back to the car, I went to grab my new headphones, and I'm like, I'll grab my spare headphones, no big deal, I'll be good. And then something told me not to. I took a drink of my water, headed back out. So I'd already ran at that point, about 5K without water at all. Took a drink of water, headed back out for the next 5K, and I don't know, something told me not to take my headphones, which was absolutely crazy for me. Not something I usually do. I was actually I had to get in my head again really good to realize I can run without an iPod going, with usually podcast or sometimes, radio stuff, very seldom music, but I always have something in my ear. And it was really interesting today because I had a lot of crap going on from last night. I'd really had some information dumped on me that may or may not have been correct. I don't think it's correct now. It's bad thinking of what it was, but I'd had a horrible night's sleep. I didn't sleep worth a shit. I had a bunch of stress, a bunch of that crap weighing on me, and I have anxiety, panic attacks every once in a while, and they're 99% brought on by stress and feeling of helplessness and that kind of thing in my life in the moment. And that was the first one I had. I had one today, a really severe bad one actually. It really kind of jacked with me pretty bad. That was earlier today, and it was horrendous. My heart races. I can't. It's a fucked up deal. It's a whole thing there. Haven't had one in forever. Like, it's been so long, I literally don't remember my last one. So I'd say well over a year, maybe more. I don't know. I know I had a handful. I'm back with the divorce, and that obviously set in. Really freaked me out. And I had a bunch of them then. I had a bunch more of my business at times were going wrong there and stuff. And off and on in my life, when I get overwhelmed and overstressed, I end up having a few panic attacks. I've gotten decent at getting them back under control, and today was one of the ones that's able to get back under control, not nearly as quick as I'd like it to be, but I think part of it's because it's been so long since I had one, I'd forgot how to, protect myself from it, because it had been so long since I'd had one. I'd been doing so well with the whole process. So add that up to the fact I went out to run, headphones died a few minutes into my run, and that freaked me out. So I had like an hour, 47 minutes, 28 seconds to be exact, but that's how long I ran without headphones. And not that I'm counting, not that my OCD or any that kind of stuff is making me count how long I was without headphones, but I decided today that after my panic attack, I really kind of had to force myself to just run without headphones and kind of really think of my thoughts and stuff. And it really was amazing. And I've decided I'm going to make a new goal to once a week go take a run without a headphone. I'm just going to literally physically make myself not take headphones at all, which I never would have thought I could do, and maybe I can't do, who knows. But I also never thought I could run more than a few miles without water, and I've run upwards of 10 miles without water before. So I can always overcome and hang with my brain once I make it do it. It's just hard to sometimes see the purpose and the goal, make it worthwhile of actually wanting to do that. So that went pretty well. One of the things that caused actually the only real thing that caused my massive amount of stress last night and all of today, I was able to kind of work through a lot of that, able to talk through a bunch of it this afternoon, actually this evening, just a few minutes ago, to be dead honest with you, keeping this open as it can be right now. And I feel a lot better now than I'd felt up until just a couple hours ago. I was kind of feeling a lot more of that crap on me. So I think things are going to work out. That feeling of like I have no control over stuff, and then realizing I have a little more control over it. And I also have to realize that I have to realize no matter what I think I don't have control over, I have 100% control over it in my life. I just have to decide if what I'm doing at that moment is worth the stress or not. And it was literally, it was dicking with me so bad. I was so overstressed, it was ridiculous. And like I said, first panic attack, and I'm going to guess well over a year. So obviously it had a massive effect on me, and I didn't like that feeling at all. So hopefully that's all done. It's all over and it's all good, so that won't happen again. I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I'm going to watch a little bit of Netflix. I started to watch a little bit of Netflix, and then I'm getting a phone call from the stress producer, I guess you want to put it that way. That's a crappy way of putting it, but the reason I was having the stress. So I was able to basically confront the stress and hash a bunch of stuff out. It was an amazing call. It really was. I feel so much better after the whole thing's over and done with there. So everything is looking up and productive, so hopefully it continues on this path. And there's always going to be setbacks like that. It's just there was some really crappy stuff last night that popped up that I should have probably mentioned more last night, but it was rough. I was having a really hard time last night. I made my vlog, so I should have talked more about it then, I guess. Maybe I wouldn't have had such a crappy day. I wouldn't have had my stressful panic attack today. So hopefully it's all over and done with and move on. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. I'm going to go back and eat myself a donut.